of Blouvlei School, we have less than 200 learners, and they all are severely intellectually disabled. So the scenario is the same. I have the addiction problem, I have finance problem, I have food problems, I have safety problems, I have transport problems. And in all of that, you still need to manage your curriculum, and you need to be on top of your game. But yes, so we must bloom. I always say when the going gets tough, then I say to my colleagues, we need to bloom where God has placed us. So sometimes it is the marble mansions and the concrete jungle, and then we need to come out and we need just to be our best or give our best. So my partner is Rens, and he's from Douglas Jones, and I met him and I'm like, what is this blonde hunk gonna teach me, and what's he gonna offer me? And I'm like, okay, so maybe he's gonna teach me in cycling, because he is a very keen cyclist and sportsman and well groomed. And so when I met him, I thought, I wonder if Partners for Possibility, if they know what they're doing, because why him with me? We come from different backgrounds, and really the work and what he does, what am I going to learn? But yes, indeed, it was the right partner, because he came in and we looked at what works. We did a needs analysis, assessment, and we looked at what works. Okay, so the finance, it's okay, and okay, this is lacking in that. And then my biggest problem is to create awareness that people with mental illness also needs a purpose. They need a reason to wake up in the morning, and yes, indeed, they can learn. So Rens then came and said to me, fine, let's see what we can do about awareness. And we started off with, yes, we're doing job shadowing, and he opened his doors of his business. And some of my learners went there and they started job shadowing. And they started earning money. So they needed to be like 17, turning 18, and they started to earn money. So when he had extra work, the work was simple enough. And behavior is a great concern. Any principal will know that. Any teacher will know that. And so sometimes children outgrow school. And then we would take these learners, we would see that where does this behavior come from? I'm tired of the school. And we would place those learners and they start earning. And sometimes one of my learners are working there permanently, and he is the only breadwinner in his family. His mom is unemployed and he has 3 more siblings. So this evening, I thought I'm not going to come with anything else but that paradigm shift that needed to take place here, and with Rens, and so that we could see eye to eye and make a difference. So then one of my boys started, all of a sudden he was the perfect child, no behavior. I'm like, yep, I knew he was tired of me. And he was placed at the right business, and he's proud to be taking the paycheck home. So then 4 more learners came, and what happened is Rens, that was a big company, but in a small area that they worked, and they needed to create awareness just there. And so 4 learners went, and Nazli's right hand, because that's his right hand at the shop, she phoned me and she says, I'm so sorry, I mentioned his name, not his surname. Brandon unfortunately can't come because he has a speech impairment and we don't know what he's doing and what he's saying. I said, okay. And Brandon came back. And it bothered her so much that she phoned me the next day and she says, no man, send him back. But please come and speak to us and create the awareness and teach us and help us, which we did. He's doing extremely well. So that was one of the things. So when we changed the logo, the vision of the school, Rens helped me. And now we're going to use his expertise. Douglas Jones is all about mosaic tiles, importing it into South Africa and distributing to all the tile places. And so we're going to use that skill, and we are doing the new logo and all of that of the school. as craft project. So we're busy with that. It's not completed. The staff has some extra training because obviously we always need to look at what can we teach our learners and how can they earn money. And so the whole staff will be trained by Isaac, and this will only happen in next year. So I'm grateful to say that it's not going to stop here, and if he thinks that he can cycle away, I can run maybe as fast and I will get to him. So then I thought, but what do I offer him? Because, you know, we're there and we're completely different. And then he was saying to me that he's having meetings with his staff on this day. And I said, okay, can we join? Because maybe I can get some tips. Because my people sometimes get tired of me speaking. And so we baked, we cooked and we baked. And we went loaded with treats and we joined this meeting. Just so that there is, you know, a family feeling amongst us, and so that they know who we are when we rock up there. So, so Douglas Jones helped to give some of my learners a reason to wake up. He helped to a purpose. He gave some of the learners a purpose and an income. And so some of the learners, some of my girls went working with Naslin. And then she's saying, but there's a problem. I said, yes, there is a problem. My children are very poor. And we pick them up in a 35 to 40 kilometer radius with vehicles. And sometimes there are no parents, and sometimes there are parents who cannot be bothered. And so then we must do that. And then the next one day, so they came in there with toiletries, because they realized some of the girls actually need things that we take for granted that we have. Sanitary towels, soap, toothpaste. And it didn't come from Rens, it didn't come from Nasli, it came from the workers who were working alongside these learners and noticed, but there's a need. So they donated from their stipends that they received. So to say to everybody, I enjoyed learning, not just from Rens, but from Paul, from Rona, from everybody. Amina we still have a date that's going to take us into next year. And I mean, I found Sandy. So it's not just about that one person that you are connecting. I don't know why Cecil is avoiding our meetings, because I need to borrow him a little bit from you. So it's all about the relationship. It's all about giving. Sometimes it is taking. And it's all about creating that positive attitude. Sometimes I needed to go just to get from you when I'm rock bottom and I needed to bloom. And it was difficult to bloom. Then I needed to go to that meeting and listen to Sadiq saying, we shall overcome. So it was the networking, it was the teaching moments when nobody planned it. When nobody planned it. It was the contagious attitude. It was the mentoring, Nikki. We must say thank you to you. When we didn't want to, you somehow softly still used to get us to firmly kick us and get us going. So the rewards are great. And so I just want to say to everybody here, the family that we stole time from, and the partners, my colleagues, fellow principals, and whoever added. And yes, the rewards were great, and indeed we can. Thank you so much.